acting for like a month or something.
Is that the one where I'm pregnant?
No, just sold Swift.
Yeah.
And
We sold what?
the Blue House up on.
Oh. It's a wreath smell. I forgot you were a cheerleader. Hi, Poppy.
Hello, Alicia.
What is this blinding?
Is there any more of this?
What is up with the purple coats?
I love purple.
I'm your old sister.
I was a good child.
Why?
Bobby sent me home on Monday.
Sick or something?
My
Or?
boss
She
sent
had
me home.
cancer.
That's the black, uneducated people.
What are we supposed to say now?
I don't know why, you just always said it
Okay,
all the time.
I just found out, PC. I am not.
Get you guys presents.
Oh, Shayna, where'd that card go?
You put it up on the tree, I
Have
thought.
your
Not
thing
me.
too. What? Alicia's birthday card's over there with her
Oh.
package.
There's so much to sort out.
You already know what you're getting. You helped me shop for it.
Oh, yeah.
I figured instead of giving you guys each something different, you guys could share what I gave you. We share everything anyway.
Yeah, this is for us to read.
I didn't know if you guys were fun to such or not, but
We are. I got
Papa Bear.
But they didn't really go with what I had, so. What does it say?
That's what I did last year.
Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle balls.
I wrapped it, man. Good job.
Joel. You was.
And I literally like completely ran out of my bottle 2 days ago. This is perfect.
Do you guys do these ones?
This isn't.
Can you open them?
This is a gathering. Not
That along with the gift card.
Thank you.
By the way.
Awesome. I can only buy one.
Oh, this is soft.
Can someone please grab my... For repeating it. Brian! Are you taking a picture or video?
Video.
Joe.
Oh, man. Did she go
Your daughters
downstairs?
have language problems too.
Did she go downstairs for you? Pajama pants.
Are you bilingual, Alicia?
My like, I always go see.
I remember our old Christmases in the Blue House when we'd all make the wreath cookies and I would help out, and then while they were drying or hardening, we would put on the Grinch, and then we'd all sit on the couch, or I'd sit on the couch, and then like eat all the wreath cookies until my stomach hurt, and then we'd have like the Christmas Eve dinner, and then we'd put out the cookies and the milk, and then we would do the Santa tracker, and I'd track them, and I'm like, oh, I have to go to sleep soon because Santa was coming. So then I'd try to go to sleep, but I'd be way too excited, so it'd take me forever to fall asleep, and then the next morning I was up as early as I could be.
I'm grateful for my things I got this year from many other people.
I would say probably one of my first memories, Christmas memories, is actually in the basement at Nana and Poppy's. Back when we used to hold Christmas down there with the puzzles on the wall, and I remember first actually playing with Kyle and Colin, and I used to goof off, and we would always go to the side room because I loved that computer that you had. And what was the game? It was like Jungle something. We used to play that all the time there, so that was probably the first Christmas memory I had. And then from there, oh gosh, that's really young. I remember Ogden Street after that, doing Christmas with my mom and Rick for a while over in Maine. That was fun. We used to go over to Port Crane, over to Donna's, and then back here. I think for a while we went out to eat for Christmas, but after that we did a few Christmases up in Mexico, and that was always fun. I'm trying to think from there, because we have quite a few videos of that too.
Right.
I always enjoyed doing the dinners up in Mexico, and John and Brandon came up for a few, and I remember Aunt Jenny and Ken and the boys would come up, and I would get mad because the boys would always take 2 plates before we got one, and they would eat all the ham, so it would make me mad. But yeah, and then finally coming back to Binghamton, and I'm glad we've got the band back all together. So that's actually pretty much my memories of Christmas, for the most part. I'm very glad that we are all back in Binghamton, though. So I like it here. I like celebrating Christmas with everyone in the family, and I like that we can all get together in kind of a central location. I do miss Christmas up at your guys' house. That was always, growing up, your house, especially around the holidays, was always like an adventure. It felt like a maze, and we would just run through. We'd goof off in the basement, come upstairs, grab food, grab the dress-up tote in the side room, and go back downstairs playing computer games, hide and seek. So yeah, that's probably it.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. I feel like my memories for Christmas is mainly for family. Definitely plays a big part. There wouldn't be Christmas without having everyone around. My biggest memory would definitely be Christmases at Dad's old blue house up in Mexico, and Thanksgiving dinners when everyone would come in, everyone would bring a dish to pass, and we'd all sit together, whether it's in the living room or in the kitchen, talking about old memories and looking through old photos. It's a big part of my holiday memories.
So, as far back as I can remember, living in Honesdale, Pennsylvania, in my parents' ranch home, we always had tinsel, and the tinsel was the worst. It was everywhere, and there was no escaping the static cling and the silver tinsel. And the most unfortunate being that had to deal with said tinsel was my German Shepherd Buddy, because he was omnivorous and ate everything, including the tinsel. So you can imagine, after about a week of tinsel on the trees, there were silver presents all over the yard. It was incessant. And I vowed, probably at a very early age, that I would never use tinsel in my tree. And I just remember the skeletons of Christmas past lining the roads, all the dead Christmas trees that never got stripped of the devil tinsel. That's probably the worst memory ever. But my most favorite memory, probably all of the Barbies. Oh, I was such a Barbie girl. And my parents were wonderful and supported my Barbie habit right up until I was probably about 15 years old, when I learned what CDs and music were, and I switched from Barbies to music. But all the Barbies and all of her shoes and tinsel. That's Christmas for me.
This Christmas, I am grateful for everybody, minus Justice, Dennis, and Aubrey, being with us. The family makes everything. Their presence is my present. In Christmas past, just seeing the excitement on the kids' faces and watching their excitement. I had a Facebook memory come up saying I was up at 4:45 in the morning and I wanted to wake the kids up because I was so excited about their Christmas. Growing up, I remember my cousin coming in us and bringing us gifts, and that was a pretty impressive memory. I remember going out and finding trees not from a lot, and when Justice was probably about 5 years old, questioning having to pay for a Christmas tree because she had never heard of such a thing. I love all the laughter and the smiles and bringing everybody together for the time being. I think that's about it.
The first Noel, the angels did say, was to certain poor shepherds in fields where they lay. This is my message of love from my heart to my family, my husband who's recording this, our special times over the years. I love you all. Many, many more.
We watched Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Milk.
Boys.
Oh, I think you said
It's
more.
in the fridge. It's already poured in the fridge.
Here, take this with you. I want this on videotape.
Do you want Diane to see this?
Second. What are they saying?
Don't try.
Gordon's song.
She's soaking wet.
Oh my God! This is throw her.
I'm little baby.